Hi, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about how and why I tried to move to Spain. So I've been ill for quite a while with symptoms similar to chronic fatigue, post-viral fatigue, or long COVID, whatever you want to call it. As people who watch my videos will know, I sometimes do these videos from my bed because I can be very low in energy sometimes, and that is the case today. And in around August 2025, my family were saying, nothing's really improving, you need to change your environment, you need to do something different. And I agree with them, and so I found this opportunity in Spain. I found it using the Workaway platform, which is a site where you can where people post their projects. They're usually to do with nature or spiritual development or some kind of like agricultural project, or there are lots of different things. And this particular one was a family who lived in a forest in Spain. So the opportunity included meant that I would go and live with this family in the forest. I'd have my own little home, but I would help out with maintaining the forest and help the kids, help the family with their children and helping them with English and other things. The forest was so big that they had 2 forest schools on the property as well, and whilst I was there I would be able to go and volunteer with the forest school, see if I liked it and wanted to come back and have a job there. And I'd set this opportunity up, and right before I left in November, so the month before in October, I had a real dip in energy where I was really struggling to walk. I didn't go to work, and yeah, it was really tough. I was wondering whether I'd be able to go, and in the end I just about managed to regain the amount of energy that I needed to get on the flight and get over there. And it was a really fantastic opportunity for me. It was a really interesting experience because the family were half Czech and half Spanish, and that mix of cultures wasn't something I'd experienced before, and it was really interesting to see how they have managed to make it work in Spain. It was incredible to live amongst nature and wake up in and just have that real nice peace and quiet all the time, and it just meant that I felt like I could take a breath, and I felt really relaxed and definitely felt some relief in my symptoms. So it was a really positive start. And to be honest, after a week I spoke to the woman who gave me this opportunity, and I was like, can I stay for longer? Because I'd only arranged to stay from the start of November until just before Christmas. And I said, I feel like we've really connected, and I really love it here. And she was like, yeah, we really love having you so far, and you can stay for as long as you want if you like. It was really great to not just do the teaching, but also to help out in the forest, to take care of that nature, and to get back into doing some more manual labor skills. Like I did a lot of painting and sanding and creating structures. Like I helped to create a wood store for them, and this is something that I really used to love. When I was in school, I was deciding whether to do a product design degree or a business degree, and I went down the business route because I got better grades, even though I enjoyed doing product design more. But coming back to using some of those skills, I really felt like, maybe I had it a bit wrong, and instead of just going down what I thought would make the most money, I probably should have focused on doing things that I enjoyed more. because if you enjoy doing something, then you're going to work harder at getting better at it. And I think just in general, it will just be better for you to go to work every day and do something that you really feel is of value to you and to others. I also learnt a lot from doing the teaching and just in general being a sort of parental figure for the family's children. I think as a kid you think about how you would have wanted to have been raised and different things that you wish your parents would have done differently, and then you say to yourself, well, I certainly said to myself, oh, I'm never going to do that, or I'm going to do this differently. But then when you're in a situation as a parental figure, you don't really know how you're going to react, and it was a really good learning curve for me to help the children to develop and discipline them sometimes, but not in a way where they felt shame, in a way that they felt like, oh, this is an opportunity to learn and grow, not, oh, I've done something bad and I should feel bad about it. Often I really felt like out of my depth in terms of the parental skills, and I actually used ChatGPT to give me some advice of what to do in different scenarios, and it was actually quite helpful, which was interesting. I haven't really used AI that much, but I've started to use it a bit more, and it can be really useful. As much as people say negative things about it, there are some positives. One other thing that I was able to do whilst I was there, which was really beneficial for me, was to help the eldest of the three daughters. As I'm not sure whether I've mentioned it on here, but I do a lot of meditation myself, and I go to group meditations. But I was actually able to help and guide the eldest daughter through some meditations whilst I was there to help her, and it was a really powerful experience for me, and I felt like it really helped her. And it just gave me that sort of confidence to be able to say, okay, this is something that you're pretty good at and you could develop in the future. So yeah, after I had done had been there a week, and I'd done some volunteering in the school, the family were very keen to have me back, and the head of the school was very keen to have me come and work for them. So things were looking really good. Unfortunately, I then went to look at visa options, and for me, I've lived abroad in China, so I've done the whole visa for work thing previously, and I thought, it can be a long process, but it would be possible. Unfortunately, and I feel like it's a bit of a punishment for the UK choosing Brexit, but the Spanish government have made it incredibly difficult for anyone to come from the UK and have a visa to work. There are lots of different visas that you can get. Unfortunately, for like a work visa, your employer has to prove that the job that you're taking couldn't be done by a Spanish person, and it's basically impossible to prove that. There were a couple of other options. For instance, a self-employed visa, where I would have to set up as a freelance teacher, and as if I was contracted by the school. But on top of tax and national insurance that you'd have to pay, you'd also have to pay £300 as like a bit of a privilege for being able to come over and do your business in Spain. €300 a month, and that's the minimum. If you earn more, then you have to pay more. So it's basically a bit of a tax for the privilege of conducting your business in Spain, and it makes it, well, it's been described as discouraging entrepreneurship, but it just makes it a lot more unappealing when you're already paying tax and national insurance, and then you have to pay this extra amount just for the privilege of having your business in Spain. There are other people who do work and live in Spain from abroad. There's like a digital nomad visa, but that's for online work. And obviously, if you get married to someone in Spain, then you get citizenship. But those weren't really applicable for me. And it was a piece of advice that one of the teachers gave me. They said, "Oh, you should just make a friend and ask them to get married." But yeah, I'm not really that sort of person, and I would, if I wanted to go and live abroad, I'd want to do it above board. So yeah, that wouldn't be an option for me. So it was pretty heartbreaking, to be honest, because I found a place where I really felt at home, and the love and support that the family had given me was something that I never could have imagined. And yeah, I just really loved it there, and I miss them a lot. And I am going back for a couple of months in April, but in terms of being able to stay there full time, it looks very difficult, let's put it that way. And there are some different projects that me and the family want to do together, but that's something that will take some time, and again, I'd have to work around the issues with having a visa. But yeah, that's the whole story and why I had to come back. There were some other reasons as well, to do with different health issues that I'm trying to get sorted out. But yeah, that was my experience with the trip and with trying to go and move abroad to Spain. I actually said something to one of my colleagues in the hospital, and I explained, where I'd been, because they were like, "Oh, we haven't seen you for ages," when I came back. And I said, "Well, I tried to move to Spain, but it didn't work out." And she said, "Well, at least you tried." And that is it. I am really glad that I went. I'm glad that I tried, and I found out how difficult it would be, because I never would have met these people and made these connections if I hadn't have given it a go. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.